Hi, Jim Kinloch, Rockville, Maryland. Travon Martin, a travesty of justice. Everybody's talking about a travesty of justice that has very recently taken place. And it's angered many people here in the USA. For a very fine young man named Travon Martin, who was of the African American race, many people believe was callously murdered. But after a brief interview with the police, the Sanford police investigators simply let the killer walk away. When the Sanford police arrived at the community of Twin Lakes, after hearing reports of a fight and a shot had been fired from a gun, that's when I believe the Sanford Police Department made some very serious mistakes. But when they saw young Travon's lifeless body, they simply took Zimmerman's statement that it was self-defense at the time. So they quickly closed down their investigation and they never arrested Zimmerman, as I believe they really should have done. For when the police questioned witnesses about what they heard or saw when this tragic event was actually taking place, a lady said it was young Travon Martin who was screaming for help. She was told that she was wrong by an officer of the law. She was told it was Zimmerman who was screaming for help. For this cop had already formed his own opinion. And to my mind, that's an absolute disgrace. For the police emergency dispatcher had advised Zimmerman not to follow Travon Martin on that night. But he ignored what the 911 dispatcher had to say. He tracked down and he confronted young Travon Martin, and it resulted in a fight. And if Zimmerman had taken the 911 dispatcher's good advice, I truly believe that young Travon Martin would still be alive and well today. But I believe that young Travon Martin was fully aware of the dangerous situation he was in. And the reason he was screaming was because he was absolutely defenseless. He was fighting for his life out there. And young Travon Martin fought back so very bravely, Zimmerman had to kill him. For Zimmerman knew that this was a fight that he could never ever win. Now young Travon Martin had never ever been arrested. He'd never broken any kind of law. So I asked myself the question, why was Travon's lifeless body the only body that was drug and alcohol tested? Yet Zimmerman was never tested. Was this simply another Sanford Police Department investigation flaw? Yet they tell us drugs and alcohol testing is normally routine when a homicide is taking place. So why was Zimmerman not drug and alcohol tested at the scene? Was the Sanford Police Department just too busy trying to quickly close the case? Now it's hard for a mother to know her son was murdered for something he'd never done. For Travon Martin had never committed any crime. So we must fight to get some justice for Mr. and Mrs. Martin's son. We must take this case to a judge and jury. And if Zimmerman is found guilty, like I believe he will be, we must make sure this evil killer goes to jail for a very long time. There are far too many innocent men and women and children killed in the streets every day and night. And it's happening far too often here in the USA. And it really doesn't matter if they're black or white, for we are all God's children. And I believe that God should be the one who decides when someone's life should be taken away. So we must fight for Travon Martin. We must put our judicial system to the test. And we must fight till this battle over evil has finally been won. For we no longer live in the wild west. And maybe if we fight long enough and hard enough, we can help prevent another parent from losing another precious daughter or a son. And we must fight for justice for Travon's father and mother. And we must make sure that justice really does take place. And we must also learn to accept the differences that are between each other. For no matter what our differences are, we must learn to live with them. But I believe that's the only way that we as human beings can make this world a better place. I have one serious question to ask the good people of this great country, a country which I love, a country which I adopted 20 years ago. It's been very good to me. When are we ever going to become a truly United States of America? We are so divided in many, many ways in this country, between rich and poor, black, white, Hispanic, political differences. It's time to put all those things aside and make this country a truly United States of America. Yes, I'm on the verge of emotional breakdown. That's how I feel about this. Wake up, America! This country's big enough for all of us to live in and live peacefully. Learn to accept each other's differences, and then maybe we can truly become a United States of America. Thank you all for watching. God bless you. God bless America.